Hello, everybody. We are, as usual, going to do a little test to make sure you guys can hear me and you can see me and that our internet connectivity is looking good. So, hello, everybody. I've really been looking forward to this, by the way. Okay. Our last stream was the very first one in this house, and so we had a few hiccups with getting it going, but I think hopefully we should be good now. Hello from Ireland. Hello, Claire. Oh my gosh. This is so much fun, by the way. Normally I do the live streams, and if there is a craft along, it's usually like on the last day of the month. And this month I was too excited. I just felt like this needs to happen a little sooner in the month this time, just because I have so much to share. This is a really fun, simple little silly project we're gonna do. And I don't know, I just feel like it's a really fun kind of like catch you up on what's going on here. Hello from Eugene, Oregon. Hello, Brenda. Oh my gosh. Someone said, oh my God, look at your hair. Just so you know, I want to say this is the best my hair's ever looked in my entire life. I don't know what just happened, but I do know what happened, and I can tell you. And so I mentioned in the last stream that I'm struggling with the humidity, and at the moment the humidity isn't bad, but someone said something about hair lacquering to sort of combat that. And what you basically do is you take sections of your hair and you spray it with hairspray and brush it through, so you're kind of completely coating it. So I did that, ran a curling iron through it, and then put the whole thing in hot rollers. And oh my gosh, okay, so it's like doing really good things. Let's see. Hello from Phoenix. Hello, Marissa. I am so excited about this. By the way, I know it's September. I don't care. Halloween has begun, in my opinion. I feel like the 1st of September is when it starts. So I was going to Michael's, which, by the way, Michael's has these like $20 candelabras that I ordered black candles on Amazon, and they look so much more expensive than they are. So if your Michael's is carrying these in your area, I would pick them up. Hello from Madrid, Spain. Hello, Plug-in Cali. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for this one. I want to say, of all of the live streams, I'm probably the most excited for this one. And there's a reason for it. But I'm not going to hop into that right this second. We're going to make sure everything's looking good, and it seems to be, thank goodness. Okay, let's see. I always like to check out the comments and see what you guys are saying right off the bat. Okay, I started decorating early too. There's no such thing as too early. I'm actually, there is kind of a little bit. The leaves haven't turned outside. They're starting to a little bit, but in, I think, just a few weeks, it'll all be matching like the fake Halloween decor. So I'm really excited. Are you in the solarium? Yes. That's where there's so many pretty places to sort of set up these shoots. And like this, I immediately, when I saw this, I was like, I really want to do something in here right away. Just because it's so pretty, and I don't know. This is kind of a really good year, or this is a really good room for kind of all year. I feel like you could do stuff in spring, winter, and fall. So congratulations on the new house. I'm so excited about it. What can I say? It's like a big, huge thing to bite off and do. And it's like a fantasy that I had forever. So obviously when you're faced with the realities of getting what you want, it does not always align the way you think it's going to. And this is so close to being perfect. I'm so in love with The whole place and things that are going on, it's just the most amazing thing that I think has ever sort of happened in my life. So I'm pretty completely excited about it. How do the cats like the new house? They seem to really like it. I'm trying to think. Sergeant Fuzzy Balls is my little gray and white one, and he spends most of his time hidden away in like the same room. And then I've got my two little kitties, Werewolf and Professor Poof, and they're just kind of, they want to go everywhere and explore everything. And I shouldn't even talk about this because I'm just going to do it. I think I'm going to do it. It has to be the right one. There has to be the right one. There's a humane society here that obviously takes in stray animals and tries to rehome them. And so where I come from in California, it's horrible. They have like kill shelters and things where they take them in, and if they don't find a home within a certain amount of time, they euthanize them, which is horrible. And here they don't do that. So I don't know if it's just this county or the entire state of New York, but it's amazing. So anyway, I've talked about my Mr. Biggles so much. He's like my little gray tabby. I think I'm gonna go and see if I can't find an older kitty that needs a home that looks kind of like him a little bit and seems really like we click right away. And so I'm thinking I might do that this week. I've kind of been back and forth as far as, the thing with like a new kitty or a new pet is I'm getting it because I'm trying to fill a void, which you can't do. So that's one thing. And the second thing is you can't, it's not like, it's kind of like inviting a stranger over and then like promising to take care of them for theoretically 20 years. So, but I'm just going to do it and, whatever. I'm only going to do it once. And if he's older, I don't really have like a limit to how old he can be. So I may just be giving him an amazing last few years of his life. But I just feel, for one, I feel like older cats are better. I just think kittens are really, really cute. And then in 2 seconds, they go into the adolescent phase and they're tearing up your house and peeing all over everything. But older ones are wonderful. So they've kind of calmed down and they're really into snuggling. What names are you thinking for your new cat? I have no idea. It's really going to depend on who I meet there. If I feel like you can sort of tell very quickly if you're really going to get along with a certain kind of pet. So it's just going to depend. I just feel like this house is so big. I've never had a house so big, and I feel like I've been showered with like an overwhelming amount of good fortune, and I just think I've got to share some of that somehow. And I don't know, helping an older kitty seemed like a good way to go. I'll start doing that at least. Okay, let's see. How are you liking the weather? It's colder than I'm used to right at this time of year. In the mountains, it does get really cold, but not this cold. So it's cold. I don't really own clothes that are well suited for this. So I'm going to have to, my parents are coming this week, and I'm really excited to sort of show them this area, show them this house. I'm trying to think. I've never had this situation before. Normally my parents would come over to my house, we'd hang out, they'd go home. I've never had my parents come and spend the night for multiple nights because I've never lived across the country before. But I'm really excited about it. And I think we're going to have to find some more weather appropriate clothing. Let's see. You need tweed? I'd be very okay with tweed. I have no issues with that. Oh my gosh. Someone said, you never told us why you had to refilm your candlelight tour. Okay, we're 10 minutes into this. I might as well just tell stories. So so how can I say this without making someone sound terrible that I love? She's watching, my mom's watching. I had an idea for how that candlelight tour was going to look. And so on the day of that we were gonna film it, I did my hair up in this big bouffant Victorian updo, but I did it kind of quickly because I had spent so much of the day like getting the house ready and making sure everything was going to be staged correctly. And so I did this big giant hairstyle, and in the mirror in person, I thought I looked amazing. And so we filmed the whole thing, and it was like, I mean, it takes like 8 hours to film everything. Filming stuff takes forever. So I filmed the whole thing. We were about to pass out by the end of it. And the next day, I had this like feeling like, did I do my hair too quickly? Was it messy looking in that? And so I'm watching the footage and I'm just like, I think it's too messy looking. So I was like, well, let me take a clip really quick and send it to my mom, who's like my editor. I send her this clip and she watches it, and she calls me. She hates giving critical advice, but she also is honest. So I don't need everybody to be nice. I mean, I like people to be nice, but sometimes you need to hear, like, it's like a Band-Aid. You got to hear it. And so I told her, I don't think I liked my hair. I think I have to reshoot it. What do you think? And so she watched it and she said, it's not your best look. It's not it's I don't. And so in my mind it instantly clicked. Okay, so the hairstyle was too messy. It wasn't good. And so I told her that. I said, yeah, I know that it was just, I did it really quickly. It was messy. And she's like, no, that's not it. It's she said, not everyone can pull off every hairstyle, and that hairstyle was really well suited for somebody with small, delicate features. And I heard that and I was like, what? And so I instantly started having images of the McDonald's Moon Man from the 80s, like in a Victorian bouffant updo, or just like a squash with like a big glitzy hairstyle. And I got off the phone with my mom and I had to like think about it for a second. And then I called her back and I said, I think I'm going to need criticisms a little more sugar coated than that. And so we laughed about it and we had like a whole thing about it. And I was like, I'm telling people on you, by the way. I'm telling them that story. And she's like, don't do that. They're going to think I'm terrible. But if it makes you feel any better, before you start thinking my mom is evil, she's also delusional. I have on 2 separate occasions shown her pictures of, I think, Gwen Stefani and Angelina Jolie. And she was like, oh, you're prettier than them. I didn't ask her if she thought that. She just volunteered that information. And it's insane. So obviously from those moments, I was like, you kind of have to listen to her and take what she says with a grain of salt. So that's the story about why the entire Candlelight tour had to be refilmed. And I love my mom, just in case. And I'm equally critical of her when it's important. So, hi. Let's see. You need to have your mom on? Maybe. We're going to figure something out. By the way, let's talk about next month. Well, let's talk about scheduling and what I'm thinking. I thought I was going to be able to do the carriage house faster than I did. And that's also just part of this. I'm delusional. I always think I'm going to be able to do things faster. I think the carriage house is actually going to be coming in the first week of October because it's just going to take me a while to shoot everything that I need and then edit it all together. So technically it was supposed to come out this month, but if you guys don't mind, I think it's going to come out within the first few days of October. Now, that being said, we have a couple options we can talk about as far as what you want to see in the month of October, because I'm thinking of a few things. I think what I want to do is, so lately I'm doing these craft along live streams where I'm doing like a project with you guys. And I think next month we should do a craft along pumpkin carving party. So we're all just going to basically, you guys are going to have your pumpkins. I'm going to have my pumpkins. I'm not fast with art. So I'm just going to carve like a fun pumpkin. It's just going to be fun. and we're gonna like make pumpkin seeds, and it's gonna be like a whole fun party. You guys can watch on your end and like set your situation up to have a party, and it'll be a party over here with me, the captive, and the pets. So it should be really fun, by the way, because obviously real life in-person parties I don't think are really going to be happening this year. So this seems like a fun way to like skirt around that. Okay, yeah, you guys seem to like this idea. Ah, I was really jazzed about it, so I was hoping you guys would be as up for it as I am. Love roasted pumpkin seeds. They're amazing. So we're going to make those. We're going to have donuts and cookies and all sorts of fun stuff all over the place. So that's going to be the live stream for the month of October. I can't say anything too much yet, but I've agreed to lend a small portion of my time to something that's really amazing. And when you guys find out what that is, heads are going to explode. So it's really cool. And I don't know what it's going to ultimately end up looking like or being like, but that is going to eat up a couple days of October for me. So we're going to do a carriage house in the beginning of the month. That's going to come out. We're going to do a pumpkin carving live stream, which is like going to really be a party. And then now we have a project episode to talk about. I have an idea. I think I'm going to do it unless you guys are like, no, don't do it. We don't want to see it. Which is, I think I want to make a life-size, absolutely terrifying scarecrow, like a man that's intended to scare crows and children away. And I'm going to pop it in the front yard, and it's going to look a little like the Jeepers Creepers scarecrow. He's going to be life-size. And it seems like because we just moved in and there isn't time for me to really go bananas on the entire house yet, which I'll be doing next year, I feel like an absolutely terrifying scarecrow would be so fun, because once you make it, you can pop it in the barn or wherever, like for the rest of the year, and you kind of just have it all the time. And I'm going to make it out of traditional things that you would make a scarecrow out of, which I just think they're so scary and fun. And I don't know that there's too many tutorials on how to like actually make a legitimate one. Okay, yes, you guys like it. All right, so I think that's going to be the craft episode for the month of October. It's probably going to come pretty close to Halloween is when it'll be coming out, but we will see. I just kind of want to, I don't know if you guys have noticed this or not, but from the house tour going out and like the house reveal going live, bunches of people signed up on Patreon, which is the most unbelievable thing because it gives me the ability to go even more bananas with this house. And so I really want you guys to like have like the most fun sort of Halloween season you can. So that's why I'm trying to just go all out with this. Okay. Sadly, I live in a small apartment and can't make or store a scarecrow. I say, you make him, set him up by one of the main windows of your house so everyone who goes by like sees this terrifying thing. And then when it's not really like Halloween season, just like set him up in an armchair or something so that everyone who comes over gets to like say hello. I've got a full-size skeleton like just hanging out in my house at all times. Let's see. You'll have to dress him up for other seasons. Oh my gosh. He could have like a Santa scarf on. It's going to be really fun. Let's see. Use them as a sleeping buddy. I love that idea. You could like I'm not crazy for cigarettes, but it would be a funny visual to like see like me laying in a bed smoking cigarettes with like a terrifying scarecrow set up under the sheets. Okay. Does your skeleton have a name? His name is Herbert. And you have to keep an eye on him because sometimes he gets a mind of his own and wanders off. Let's see. Do we have any questions? Do we want to do a little Q&A really quick? about the house, about whatever you want. If you guys throw a few questions at me, I'll try to keep an eye on them. And then once we do that, we can get into this fun little project. And I think I need to drink something. We were smart this time. I got a little thirsty in the last one. Did your new clock arrive? No, the truck it was on broke down and he's stranded. So I think it's getting sorted out, but my clock is currently, I ordered like an awesome, terrifying looking grandfather clock. And so I'm just waiting for it. Let's see. Was the previous house, oh no, it went away. Okay, the comments are coming in so fast, I lost one. It looked good though. Favorite Halloween tradition? All of them. I really, honestly, I mean, pumpkin carving is pretty high up there, but watching the scary movies, which by the way, there's a brand new movie on Amazon Prime called Alone. Just watched it last night. It was awesome. So it's grown-up scary, but it's really good. Okay. How do you play music around the house? Well, so I mentioned, I think in the tour of the old house, I have modern stuff secreted away all over the place. And obviously we moved in, I'm a little bit of a public person. So we do, security is sort of something you have to think about. And so we have cameras everywhere and systems sort of hiding and security stuff. So it's kind of like intense. But one of the things that goes along with that is you have speakers hidden along with them. And so you can just kind of talk and music will play. So it's kind of hidden around, but it's everywhere. How are the bats? They're all gone. I have not seen a single bat since the first couple weeks that we moved in. I'm very upset about it. I keep I don't know if I can do something to lure them back, but I would like to. Where did you get your dress from? I got it on eBay. I used to make all of my clothes. And then once this kind of started, I realized for one, it takes forever to make your clothes. It takes a really long time. And I have to be in different outfits so frequently, it was not practical. So now I've started scouring eBay for clothes. And it's really fun. And I would say about 60% of them fit when they show up. So I do have to do a lot of editing and tailoring to them. Let's see. Did you pick up a car when you drove across the country? We did, halfway. And it's a brand new car and the battery's dead. And they towed it away just today or yesterday. So that happens. Do you have to renovate the house somehow? Yes. There's and anyone who's ever purchased a big old house knows this. You walk into a million problems and you just kind of have to pick what seems right to tackle first. And we have yet to tackle that. Okay, so in the mountain house, I had this really nice bathtub that was I don't know, 90s or something. It wasn't the most beautiful bathtub, but it was really comfortable. And there is no comfortable, nice bathtubs here. And it's something I like to do a lot is take baths. So I'm torn between wanting to address a bathroom situation or I don't know. There's so many. The kitchen's a big one, but it's going to be such a big project. I'm probably going to wait until next year to tackle the kitchen because I want to go all out on it. It's the only room in this house that has, so the kitchen, let's talk about the kitchen and why it wasn't in the live stream or it wasn't in the, what am I talking about? The candlelight tour. So the reason it wasn't there was at one point, it's a big room. At one point there was a Victorian kitchen in there. And then the original family converted it into a 1950s kitchen at some point. And it was okay. I love 1950s kitchens, but I don't think it was the prettiest. They dismantled it when the couple that ran it as a bed and breakfast moved in and they Okay, are we back? I I wish this would always go so smoothly, but you know, it is what it is. Let's make sure that we are going strong again. Okay. Ah! I almost want to say we should in the future just know right out the gate something is going to go on. We have Spectrum for the internet, and we may have to see if there is a different provider. They've been real funny about not being able to send anybody out, so it's literally just been us setting up the internet ourselves. The internet, I think I said that right. So yes, hello. Okay, that causes me so much stress when that happens, but we're all survived. Okay. And now I have absolutely no idea what I was talking about because I got so distracted. Let's see. If you guys can remind me, what was I going on about? If I'm going like a mile a minute in this stream, by the way, I apologize. I'm just excited. Okay. Kitchen story. Oh yeah. So there really isn't a kitchen, and I'm going to have to kind of make a whole new kitchen, which is the ideal situation. So it's gonna be awesome. And I don't even think I'm gonna show what it looks like right now until we get to that episode, because it's probably gonna end up being like a multi episode project, because it's not the sort of thing you can just like snap your fingers. Let's see. Okay, so there's the kitchen to address, there's the bathroom to address, and there's like electrical, there's, maybe internet, I'm thinking. Now that this has happened twice, I'm thinking the internet may be a priority to explore and make sure that we're good on that front. Okay. How do you cook? Badly right now because of the kitchen. I think anyone who jumps into a house like this is going to face those problems. You're not able to live at the same level of comfort that you are at a place that you've lived a long time and already sorted all those things out. So it's still very much in this, like, I think we've been here just about a month. And so it's just taking us a while to get comfortable. But okay, so something I was going to mention. Let's see, blurry. Let's see, is it blurry? Let's make sure that's not a big issue. You are out of focus. Hold on 1 second. Let me address that, because that should theoretically be pretty easy to fix. Hold on 1 moment, and I'm going to see what I can do about that. Not blurry. No, it's not blurry. Very blurry. Okay, so if it's blurry, try refreshing. Not blurry here. Try refreshing, and maybe that will fix that. So terrible. I wish, is it so much to ask that just everything in life can't go smoothly and perfectly? All right. Not blurry. Yes, refresh. Yes, so it seems to be blurry for a good amount of people, and I'm thinking it just has to be refreshed, I hope. Not blurry. Oh my gosh. I think it's affecting everybody differently. Okay, refresh works. Everyone's saying that is fixing it. So if it is blurry, just refresh. Crystal clear. Okay, so let me think. So distracting. Well, anyway, whenever there's an interruption like that, I'll always keep the stream going a little longer, just to make sure we get in all the time that we have allotted. Okay. Yay! Should we do this craft along part? I feel like we have I'm not even talked about the best part that I'm saving for this because I'm going to save it for the end. Um, but let's see. Did you guys like the candlelight tour, by the way? That for me was my absolute favorite episode that I've ever done, just because it I mentioned that we had to reshoot the whole thing, but I almost want to say it like made it better to have to go back because you were able to go, well, I didn't really like this or that, and it just kind of worked out really, really well. So it was really fun. It's actually an episode that I've gone back and watched myself multiple times just because it kind of makes me happy. Okay, let's see. Oh, the kitchen story again. Oh, I think some people missed the kitchen. Okay, well, okay, let's see. How can I tell that story abbreviated a little bit? The kitchen was not set up, or, oh, that's kind of a long story. We're gonna have to completely redo the kitchen. I'm gonna go back and rewatch the live stream and see how much of that story cut out. And if I have to retell the whole story in the next stream, I will do that. Okay. Please start on the punch. Let's talk about the punch. So I'm trying to think, how should I preface this? We're gonna have a public service announcement first. Dry ice is dangerous. I'm kind of like a safety nut in a lot of sort of ways, and I'm very careful about certain things, but I've been using dry ice and punch for years and never died. That being said, research it. Make sure you're not going to die. I don't think I've seen anything that said, I've seen stories of people swallowing it or crunching it like ice. Don't do that. Don't let the dry ice touch your face or go down into your body because it's not good for you. But if you have it in like a bowl that's smoking or you're sipping and you're keeping it away from your face, you're probably going to be fine. But that's sort of my disclaimer is research dry ice. It can be dangerous. I was actually able to find a place that like delivered it here to the house, which was unbelievable. And I didn't even order like very much. So I have my dry ice. And now that I've done my safety disclosure on dry ice, let me start on a safety disclosure on glow sticks, because this is the first step of this process. So glow sticks, these are non-toxic. You can get them at Michael's. This is where I got mine. You don't need to drink them anyway. So how they work is they have a glass tube in here, inside plastic, and you crunch them, and the two chemicals on both sides start to mix. And if you just lightly snap them, which is all you need to do, the glass is never going to come out of the plastic. So I always throw in my hair. I've been doing this for years. Nobody's died. Now, obviously, you want to have adults involved in anything having to do with this. And if you suspect that it's not stable or you're concerned, don't put it in here. That being said, I've been doing it for years and I've, like I said, never died. Let's see. Okay. So just want to make sure. I'm paranoid now that I'm going to like run off on a whole thing and then accidentally not realize that I'm not fully connected. Okay. So we're going to take a punch bowl. So just be careful. I mean, really, a lot of stuff is using common sense and researching stuff. So I don't know. You always have to say that because there's always somebody who's going to like twist this back and forth and put it in and then drink a bunch of broken glass, which is just not ever what you want to do. Unless you want this to be the last punch you ever enjoy. Don't be an idiot. Somebody said that. I mean, you know, it's hard to say. I've certainly done things personally myself that when I reflect on, I'm like, that was not the smartest thing I've ever done. So yeah, you just want to be careful. And by the way, these are going to glow right now in this setting, but at night at a party or just in your house, it's awesome. They go totally crazy. And I do kind of a lot of them just because the more that's in there, the more they glow. And also, if this is kind of like one of life's, like, it's magic. It feels like magic to just take one of these little things and snap them. And then they magically start glowing and doing funny things. Let's see. Find a couple of these little. So again, this is something use caution with. Oh, and ventilation. This is also very important when dealing with dry ice. There's a few dangers with dry ice. You want to make sure you're working in a ventilated area. I didn't realize this, and somebody let me know on Patreon. Don't keep dry ice in your freezer. It can actually damage your freezer. I didn't know that. I've done it. It didn't damage it then, but it doesn't mean it can't. So just keep it in a styrofoam cooler and you're going to be fine. Let's see. So I have a reason that I'm making a few of these. Let's see. So there's no risk to the glow sticks interacting with the dry ice. I've been doing it for years and haven't had that issue come up. So one thing I was a little concerned about was putting actual ice next to dry ice. I don't know what that would do if you have a special punch bowl. I wouldn't experiment too much with that. But okay. So I've got a couple of all of these done. Let's just snap a little more of these because it's really fun, like ridiculously fun. Hello from Florida. Hello. Okay. So let's see. So we've got our glow sticks in. We have Sprite, and you want to keep this usually pretty cold in the refrigerator before you do this. Let's see. Just gonna pour that in. This is the most fun thing to do, by the way, if you're like having a party or if you're just like having a movie night in with your cats. It's just kind of like fun and magical to watch sort of happen. So I'm gonna dump this entire thing of Sprite into here. All right. Let's see. People are saying Herbert is on the loose. I don't see him on his couch. Okay, so I went to the Clinton Cider Mills, which, by the way, this is something else I might have to do an episode on, is if you guys want to see it, of me just like driving around to some of the fun places that are like doing fall here, because you get to go to this cider mill and they're like making the cider in the building. And I'm trying to think, they have like cider donuts, which are unbelievable. I don't know if you guys want me to drive around and like film some of the fun, like the pumpkin farms, all of that stuff. So how do I open this? This is my first time opening, obviously, any of these. Ooh, there we go. Okay. So we're just gonna pour in some of that. I'm not really measuring. This is an antique punch bowl that I got at an estate sale for like $20, probably 6 years ago. And I've never used it because I didn't really have a place that was like well suited for it. And now I do. Okay. So I'm going to cut a few apples in half. You know, I'm not 100% sure on that table. That would be disastrous. Which, by the way, I'm going to talk about the people here and how amazing they are. But this cutting board is incredible. Okay. because that seemed very risky in my current, I'm just going to let these float in here. And I usually cut up a few, but because I don't want to have this whole thing just like blow up in my face, I'm not going to do that right now. And we're going to cut a lemon wedge. Please tell us what life is like there. It's amazing. It's real for one. I mean, it's like real, like I really live here. This is my real life here. It's so, I had an idea in my head of what it was going to be, and it's better. It's the most fun, incredible experience I've ever got to live through personally. And I mean, I'm including, I had a show on Netflix, and I'm enjoying this whole thing more than anything I can ever recall enjoying. So it's amazing is the answer. I don't have a paper towel. I just realized that. All I have is antique lace and a pumpkin. Okay. Okay, let's see. Are you forgetful? Yes. I get that from my mom. We're constantly telling each other stories that we've told each other before. Okay, someone said, Christine, the group has a question. Many of us would like to create a Facebook group and Discord group private to your patrons. I love that idea. I am not super familiar with Facebook. I know that sounds bananas, but I have it and I don't use it too much. You guys are welcome to do that. I'm not sure how to set that up. Is that something I need to set up? Let me know. And if it is, I can research it and see if we can figure something like that out. I don't have the apples. Do oranges work? Yes, everything works. An onion works. I'm kidding. Don't put an onion in here. That would be gross. But yes, oranges work. Oranges go in cider, so totally. Christine, will you make the photo shoot, video editing video? Yes. I have to. That's the thing. I have so many episodes I want to get to, and that's a big one. So yes is the answer. I'm not entirely sure when, just because I want this to be all about Halloween right this second. Okay. You can have moderators of the group that run it. I'm very okay with that. So long as everyone's nice. My biggest thing is, from my perspective, there is so much ickiness out there, and I do my very best to make sure none of it bleeds over into this. This is something, we're having fun. This is, I mean, there's enough seriousness out there. Let's have all the fun. So that's my big thing is, if you guys do that, everyone have fun, be nice. Okay, let's see. So now we've got this. Now it's time for gloves. And I'm going to say, I haven't done this in a long time, and I feel like maybe I didn't use actual apple cider because it seemed like it was clear before, but I just said I don't have a good memory, so who knows? Okay. So I only get the bricks of dry ice because you can keep a closer eye on them. I took them outside before we came in here, and I took a hammer to them, so I broke them up into bigger pieces and put them in a styrofoam cooler, which I have right down here. And normally you're supposed to use tongs, but I don't know where my tongs are in this house. So let's see. Oh my gosh, I should mention, sorry. Someone said I can't wait for the Halloween cards. Because things got so crazy with the move, I need to actually update it. It's going to be a Christmas card this year, and it's going to be worth the wait. So if you are signed up in that tier, if it's a problem, send me a message and I'll figure it out for you. But that is what that tier is going to be. So tongues have appeared. Oh my gosh. Okay, you really don't want to be touching the dry ice. So are we ready for the fun to begin? Because this is just the best stuff on earth. Oh my God. I love dry ice. It's like real life magic, by the way. Real life. Look at this. Oh my God. It's so beautiful. Okay, and something you should know about dry ice and a bowl of liquid is I think it does something, and I'm not a scientist or an incredibly intelligent person, so I couldn't tell you what it is, but it uses something. It could be the oxygen in the liquid that it's in. So it will only have this really dramatic effect for a period of time, and then it will stop. And if you keep adding dry ice, it's used up all of whatever it is that it's having this reaction with in the liquid. So you can't, you have to dump this out and start fresh to get this really amazing reaction. And I've even got a little thing of water over there. It's kind of off camera, whatever. Look at how fun this is. Okay, so now you've got a punch bowl. Usually, like I said, I'm nervous about the apples, but let's see if I can't get like a wedge of apple. I eat an apple every single day, by the way. It's like my breakfast. And I'm going to cut a little bit out of it. And because I'm a grown-up and I'm not going to drink the dry ice or eat this, I'm putting a little glow stick so I've got that. I'm going to put a little wedge of apple on there, and I'm going to take a very small little nugget of the dry ice. Oh my God, is that the most fun thing you have ever seen in your life? So the dry ice floats to the bottom, so it sticks right there. It's actually really delicious. Let me get a little bit more in here. How much fun is this, by the way? This is like, I feel like I'm in science class or something. Let's see. Everyone's saying, turn the lights off. Okay, let's try turning the lights off really quickly. I'm probably gonna accidentally like disconnect this whole thing, but you guys asked for it. So let's try it and see what happens. I don't know if it's dark enough for it to make an effect, but let's see. Okay, let's see how this works. Oh my gosh. Can you guys hear that? Yeah, try to turn the lights off if you can. Ooh. So it's still too bright outside for it to really show up how much. Hold on one sec. Let me break a few more glow sticks and see if we can't. Okay, they're brighter when you first open them. Okay, so this is a nighttime thing if you really want to see the full effect. Okay. Woo! Listen to that. Oh my gosh. And that is how you make poison apple punch. Was that fun? By the way, this is I would say, without a doubt, my favorite party like thing to make at a party, just because it's a showstopper. When we filmed the sizzle basically for the show that we were going to do for Netflix, um, this whole production company came to my house in the mountains and shot the sizzle, which nobody's ever seen. And we were doing something with this, and I was they wanted to keep shooting once like all of the smoke had gone away. And I was having like an anxiety attack. I was like, the smoke makes the whole thing. And so I like actually picked up the whole thing and I was like, I'll be right back. And I dumped it in the sink and we like refreshed it and got it going again, because it never looks as good as when you very first drop that dry ice in. But look at how it's like bleeding down the little cracks. Oh my gosh. It's the best thing ever. And dry ice usually doesn't cost a lot, and it depends on where you go, but you can get it like sometimes at a grocery store. I think Smart and Final sometimes carries it. Okay. Let's see. Hello. Okay, let's do a Q&A. Do you guys want to ask some questions? I'll tell you some things. Do you curl your hair under or over? I curl it well, in the front, it goes back, and then here it goes under. Oh, it's very expensive where you are. It's not, it's never been too expensive in where I lived in California and here. Let's see. What kind of apples do you eat? Every single day I eat Gala apples. I don't know. Just one day I picked one and I was like, oh, this is the one I like. Okay. Is your house in California okay? It is right now. I have had a lot of people messaging me about that, and this is how I feel about it. I love the house, but it is a thing, and it's insured, and the lives of the animals in the forest aren't. And that's the most upsetting thing to me, is obviously people losing homes that is their home that they live in, and then all of the wild animals. I used to feed stray cats that would never get too close to you, but I'm concerned about them. Okay, I'm thrilled about the Christmas card. It's gonna be really neat, I promise. Is the house haunted? This is the question I was waiting for. The house is haunted. Ghosts are real, and there's life after death. I mean, that's all I can tell you. I've been on the fence personally about how I feel about that for years, and there's something here. That's what I can tell you. It's weird. What can I tell you? So every single person who's lived in this house that I've spoken to has a story. Like everyone, not just a couple of them. Every single person has had experiences in this house. And I'll tell you what I have personally experienced, which isn't much, but it's enough to make me go. So we moved in, and sometimes you just think you see something out of the corner of your eye and you look and there's nothing there. And that happens everywhere. It's happened little bits throughout everyone's whole life, I would think. But here we noticed it seemed to be happening a ton. And it was like, well, okay, you're probably just looking for it. Well, I was in the bath. I was in it used to be a closet at some point, but in the 1980s, somebody converted it into a bathroom, and I was in this bath. And I got up from the water and I turned my head and I saw a black cat run into the room. Like, it was so fast, but I saw it. I saw it. That's all I can say. And it ran into a wall. It didn't look like a horror movie, but it ran into a place it couldn't have been. And there was no cats in the house. So I don't know. I saw it. It was real to me. And then, so that was the first thing. And I called my mom immediately. And I was like, ghosts are real, ghosts are real. That's the it was a crazy experience. So then the second thing that happened is I was coming up that really grand staircase, probably like a week and a half ago, and I looked up, and there was all I could see was the silhouette of a figure at the top, like a shat, like it was all dark. Um, and I saw someone standing there, and I blinked, and when I opened my eyes, it wasn't there. So, ghosts, I don't know. But I'm telling you, everyone here has a story, and it seems legit. So, okay. Now, I will say this. Everyone who has lived here and that I've actually like spoken to and told me, they all say there's a friendly ghost here. It's a good presence. Personally, I have not gotten a sense. It seems ambivalent towards me, which I'm really hoping I can like win them over. But I haven't sensed anything either way. So I'm hoping they like me. I called my mom and I was like, I'm beginning to think they don't like me because they haven't. One of the ghost stories is a woman lived here in the 1980s. Her name was, I can't remember if it's Dreisler, or Dresler. It's one of those. And she was the one who ran it as a bed and breakfast. And she relayed the story to somebody that she didn't believe that ghosts were here until one day she was coming down the stairs and she lost her balance and was about to fall forward. And she felt arms lock around her and hold her back. And she said from that minute on, it was like stuff happened and she knew something was here. So I don't know. That's my ghost story and it feels pretty good. I mean, I don't know. It's amazing. So that's my ghost story. Now, do we have any other questions? Okay. It is spooky. We're totally going to do seances here, by the way. We've got to have some fun stuff going on. Okay. Let's see. And I apologize if the stream has caused so much grief this time. We will definitely have somebody come and we're going to address this before the next one. So let's see. It says we have an excellent connection, but I don't think it knows what it's talking about. Okay. Explored the dungeon yet? It's scary down there, but I'm going to do really... So there are spaces in the house that are, I mean, I haven't even gotten into that are like empty. I can't figure, something's in there. I don't know what's in there. But I'm going to be making like, you pull a candelabra and something opens because I don't understand why all houses don't have those things. And I'm definitely going to make sure those happen here. Let's see. Do you have a favorite handout for trick-or-treaters? I personally really love Snickers. So like a grown-up size Snickers is like my favorite to like hand out like big ones. I don't think anyone's doing trick-or-treating this year, which is heartbreaking because we just moved into this perfect place for it. But it gives me time to really get ready for next year. I'm really hoping that I can do a big Halloween party here next year and fully decorate the front. So that's my current goal at the moment. This is still going pretty good, by the way. Let's see. Are you sleeping well? Yes. So one of the things that took me was an adjustment. We lived in the mountains before. It was very, very quiet. And I didn't realize we bought the house without having been here first. The main street in front, it's on a main street, and it's busier than I expected it to be. And it's the noise I'm not used to. So I started sleeping with like wax, like earplug things. And I sleep like a baby now. So that was what was causing that. Let's see. Are you going to paint the outside of your house a different color? So from all of the research that I've done, the house has been a few different colors throughout its time. And so It's a historic house, so it's registered. I would have to discuss what my options are with even doing something like that. I do have an idea for I would never touch the brick. There's like brick on the outside, but the trim things, at one point they were a really dark green. I have an idea for doing a couple different shades of a green that look really elegant together, but I'm gonna have to look into it. But it is an idea I'm thinking of. Will you do a Golden Girls craft video like you did for Silence of the Lambs? If you guys want to see it, I will do that. I have no complaints about doing something fun like that. Let's see. Could you have a contest to invite Patreon members to your Halloween party? Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. That's really, oh, this is something we should talk about before we get off here, is, so yes, the answer is the majority of the people that will be coming to these parties is you guys. And we'll figure out some way to do that. But that's my plan, is you guys are making all of this incredible stuff happen. It's like living in a fantasy. So I want to meet you guys in person. And yes, the answer is we will be figuring out ways to make that happen. But the other thing, or the other people that will be coming to this party, are the people locally. Oh my gosh, let's talk about the people here. So I'm from California. People are always nice. They smile. We had amazing next door neighbors at our California house. And so I've always thought people were so wonderful. And then we came here and it's like Mayberry. People, oh my gosh, they're so nice. We've like already made like good friends with several people. There's so many instances that I could reference of people bringing like a basket with welcoming things and reaching out to say that they're happy that we're here. So it is, I want to say I'm so excited about the house. I'm so excited about all of this, but also feeling so like embraced by the people that are here has been such a shock and so incredible. So I'm going to be delving into that more, but it's been wonderful. Oh, and not only Halloween parties we're going to be doing. I want to do like murder mystery, like weekends and things like that. I don't know how I'm working that out yet, but it is on the list. Okay. Is that a forest in the background? I mean, yeah, kind of. It's just, there's a million trees that sort of encompass this house, and this is just one of the walls of them. Who's your favorite Golden Girl? I don't have a favorite. They are all, it's kind of like they all contribute something so incredible to the show that if you pull any one of them out, it doesn't work. So I love all of them. Let's see. Murder Mystery Golden Girls. I love that episode. If my mom is watching this, she's listening to me talk endlessly about the Golden Girls, she rolls her eyes at that. How about making Halloween masks? I love that idea. That's the neat thing about this, is there is a million things to tackle. So it may take me a few years to like really cover everything. But so for coming up in October, we are doing, obviously the carriage house episode is going to be early in October. A top secret thing will be coming out later. And we are going to be doing a pumpkin carving party. And then also, you guys, it sounded like you guys wanted to see it, was a real life horrifying looking scarecrow. So I'm going to be doing all of those things. I think I'm going to wrap up for tonight. Thank you guys so much for this. Thank you to the people who have been here supporting this since the beginning. Thank you so much to the people who have just signed up. It's really been incredible. I am interested in doing that Facebook group if you guys want to like share ideas and share your projects and your work with each other. So somebody directly message me about that and I'll see what we can do. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. I hope you start decorating your house for Halloween if you haven't already. And I'm gonna just be thinking nonstop about fun things that we can do together in the month of October. So I will see you very soon and have a lovely evening. And don't eat the dry ice.